"You don't belong here, freak. That jacket's too big for you." The snide voice cut through the school gym, followed by a ripple of laughter. A tall boy, his face flushed, tugged at the oversized olive-green jacket he wore. His classmates sneered, pointing at the worn military patches stitched onto the sleeves. Everywhere he went, whispers followed. Why does he wear that old thing? He thinks he's some kind of soldier? Teachers rarely said anything, though some exchanged pitying looks. To them, it was just a boy clinging to a costume that didn't fit. But today was different. The school had gathered for Veterans Day. Rows of folding chairs filled the gymnasium. The American flag hung proudly at the back, and students shuffled in their seats, restless. When the principal announced a moment to honor those who served, most expected it to be routine. But then, the quiet boy in the jacket was asked to step forward. The room stilled. He hesitated, his hands trembling. From the crowd, a voice jeered, "What's he doing up there? He hasn't fought in anything but Fortnite." More laughter erupted. His jaw tightened, but he kept walking toward the stage. And then, it happened. The doors at the back of the gym opened, and in walked a decorated officer in full-dress uniform. Her medals glistened under the lights. She carried herself with the weight of years of service. Students fell silent. She stopped in front of the boy, locking eyes with him. Then, to everyone's shock, she raised her hand to her brow and saluted him. Gasps swept through the room. The bullies froze, their smirks collapsing into confusion. The boy, stunned, saluted back with a shaky hand. The officer turned to the audience, her voice steady but thick with emotion. "You see this jacket? You've mocked him for wearing it. But let me tell you the truth behind it. That jacket belonged to his father, a man who gave his life on the battlefield so all of you could sit here free today." The boy's head bowed as she continued, her voice trembling. "His father was my brother in arms. I watched him shield others in the line of fire, sacrificing everything so his team could live. He was a hero. And this young man," she placed a hand firmly on the boy's shoulder, "wears his father's jacket not for attention, not for glory, but to carry his memory. Every stitch, every patch tells a story of courage and sacrifice that none of you could begin to imagine." The gymnasium was utterly silent. Students who had laughed now shifted uncomfortably in their seats. Some lowered their heads, ashamed. She turned back to the boy, her eyes glistening. "Your father would be proud of you. Never let anyone shame you for honoring him." At that moment, the quiet boy stood taller. His hands no longer shook. The jacket that seemed too big for him suddenly fit, not because his body grew into it, but because the truth filled the room. Slowly, the audience began to clap. It started with one student, then another, until the entire gymnasium thundered with applause. Even the bullies, red-faced and humbled, joined in. The boy's eyes watered as he stood in the center, no longer the target of ridicule, but the bearer of his father's legacy. And as the applause swelled, officers' words lingered. "Never judge someone by what you see. You don't know the battles they fight, or the sacrifices they carry." The boy walked back to his seat, not alone this time, but surrounded by respect. That day, the jacket was no longer a punchline. It was a reminder, a living story of war, sacrifice, and the unbreakable bond between father and son. And the bullies? They never mocked him again. Some even apologized, realizing the weight of their ignorance. So, behind every quiet soul may lie a story that deserves the loudest honor. Never mock what you don't understand. If this story touched you, subscribe to the channel, hit that like button, and drop a karma in the comments below.